Chapter 19, Glacia's Choice. As the blinding light from the ritual's climax began to fade, the citizens of Merry Hollow found themselves surrounded by a breathtaking spectacle. The air itself seemed to have transformed into a series of shimmering windows, each one offering a glimpse into other magical realms. Through one, they could see a lush forest where every leaf sparkled with fairy light. Another showed a vast desert where sand dunes shifted and swirled like golden waves. Yet another revealed a city built entirely of crystal, its spires reaching impossibly high into a star-studded sky. At the center of it all stood Glacia Winterborn, her form more solid now but still shimmering with barely contained power. Her eyes, deep as glaciers and old as time itself, darted from one magical window to another, a mix of wonder and wariness in her gaze. Holly stepped forward, the magical snow globe cradled in her hands. Its surface pulsed with a gentle light, reflecting the myriad realms surrounding them. "Glacia," she said softly, her voice carrying clearly in the hushed silence, "it's time to make a choice. The balance has been restored, but the future of Merry Hollow, and of winter itself, rests in your hands." Glacia's form flickered, ice crystals swirling around her as she regarded Holly. The anger that had driven her for so long still burned in her eyes, but there was something else there too, a flicker of hope, perhaps, or a longing for peace. "Why should I forgive?" Glacia's voice resonated through the square, carrying with it the chill of countless lonely winters. "Your kind imprisoned me, used my power for your eternal Christmas. Why should I not take my vengeance now that I am free?" Holly took another step closer, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "Because vengeance won't heal the wounds of the past, Glacia. It will only create new ones. We're offering you something better, a chance to be a true guardian of winter, to work alongside us in stewarding the magic of Merry Hollow." As Holly spoke, she held out the snow globe. Its surface shimmered, and suddenly the magical windows around them were filled with new visions, memories flowing between Holly and Glacia through their connection. They saw Merry Hollow as it had been at its founding, a haven of warmth and light in a world that desperately needed hope. They felt the good intentions of the founders, their desire to protect and nurture, even as they recognized the misguided nature of their actions. But they also saw the beauty of true winter, the quiet magic of snowfall and the cleansing power of ice. They experienced the joy Glacia had once taken in her role as a guardian of the seasons, the pride she had felt in being part of the natural cycle of the world. As the memories flowed, Glacia's expression began to change. The hard lines of anger softened, replaced by a look of conflicted longing. "It was beautiful once," she murmured, her voice like the whisper of snowfall. "The dance of seasons, the balance of magic. I had forgotten." Holly nodded encouragingly. "It can be beautiful again, Glacia. Different, yes, but perhaps even better than before. Merry Hollow can be a place where Christmas cheer and winter's quiet magic coexist, each enhancing the other." As Glacia considered Holly's words, the citizens of Merry Hollow held their collective breath. They could feel the weight of this moment, the potential for either a new beginning or a devastating end. Glacia's form shifted and swirled, her internal struggle manifesting in swirling eddies of snow and ice. Memories of her imprisonment warred with the visions of a possible future. The anger that had sustained her for centuries clashed with a newfound desire for peace. "But what of justice?" Glacia asked, a note of anguish in her voice. "What of the years stolen from me, from my kin?" Holly's eyes filled with tears, but her gaze remained steady. "We can't undo the past, Glacia. But we can learn from it, honor it, and use that knowledge to build a better future. Your experiences, your wisdom, they're invaluable. Help us make sure nothing like this ever happens again." A hush fell over Merry Hollow, a moment of absolute stillness as Glacia stood on the precipice of decision. The magical windows around them seemed to hold their breath, the visions within frozen in anticipation. In that stillness, Glacia closed her eyes. When she opened them again, the anger had faded, replaced by a look of profound weariness and, beneath that, a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, she said softly, it is time for a new season to begin. With those words, Glacia reached out and placed her hand atop the snow globe in Holly's grasp. A pulse of pure winter magic flowed from her, merging with the Christmas cheer that already swirled within the artifact. The effect was immediate and breathtaking. The magical windows surrounding them burst into a dazzling display of color and light, like an aurora that encompassed the entire town. Streams of gold and silver, ice blue and forest green, wove together in intricate patterns overhead. As the aurora's light washed over Merry Hollow, changes began to ripple through the town. The eternal Christmas decorations didn't vanish, but they transformed. Garlands of holly sprouted new leaves and berries, while candy canes twisted into spiral patterns that evoked both holiday cheer and the fractal beauty of snowflakes. The great Christmas tree at the center of the square seemed to grow and shift before their eyes. Its branches stretched higher, and its needles took on a silver-green hue that shimmered with magic. Ornaments that had hung lifeless for years began to pulse with new energy, each one now reflecting a different aspect of winter's beauty alongside Christmas joy. Glacia herself was changing too. The harsh, jagged edges of her icy form softened, taking on a more fluid grace. Her eyes, once filled only with cold fury, now sparkled with the quiet wisdom of ancient winters and the bright promise of new snow. As the aurora began to fade, a peaceful silence settled over Merry Hollow. The air shimmered with magical potential, alive with the possibilities of this new balance between Christmas and winter magic. Holly looked up at Glacia, a smile of relief and joy spreading across her face. "Thank you," she said softly. "For giving us a chance, for being willing to forge a new path." Glacia inclined her head, a small smile playing at the corners of her icy lips. "And thank you, Holly Evergreen, for having the courage to seek understanding rather than simply fighting. It is not often that a wrong can be righted in such a way." The winter spirit turned her gaze to the transformed town, a hint of wonder in her expression. "I look forward to seeing how Merry Hollow adapts to this new reality. There is much work to be done, much to relearn and rediscover." Mayor Candy Cane stepped forward, her usual jolly demeanor tempered by the solemnity of the moment. "Glacia Winterborn, on behalf of all of Merry Hollow, I formally invite you to take your place as our guardian of winter. Will you help guide us as we learn to live in harmony with the changing seasons?" Glacia considered for a moment, then nodded. "I accept your invitation, Mayor Candy Cane. It will not always be easy, true winter brings challenges alongside its beauty. But I believe that together, we can find a balance that honors both the magic of Christmas and the natural cycle of the seasons." A cheer went up from the gathered citizens, a sound filled with joy, relief, and excitement for the future. As the celebration began in earnest, Holly felt a cool hand slip into hers. She turned to see Jack Frost standing beside her, a look of pride and love shining in his icy blue eyes. "You did it, Holly," he said softly. "You saved Merry Hollow, and maybe even changed the course of magical history." Holly shook her head, squeezing his hand. "We did it, Jack. All of us, together. And this is just the beginning." As they watched Glacia begin to mingle with the citizens of Merry Hollow, answering questions and already starting to plan for the town's first true winter in centuries, Holly felt a sense of profound rightness settle over her. The path ahead would not be easy, but it would be beautiful, filled with the magic of both eternal Christmas cheer and the ever-changing cycle of seasons. The first snowflakes of a natural winter began to fall, dancing on the lingering magical currents from the aurora. Each flake caught the light in a unique way, some twinkling with Christmas magic while others shimmered with winter's quiet power. It was a perfect representation of the new Merry Hollow, a place where different magics could coexist in harmony, each enhancing the beauty of the other. As night fell on this most extraordinary of days, the citizens of Merry Hollow made their way home, their hearts full of wonder and their minds buzzing with plans for the future. Holly, Jack, and their friends gathered in the gingerbread cottage bakery, already discussing ideas for new seasonal treats and decorations. The magical snow globe sat in a place of honor on the mantelpiece, its swirling contents a constant reminder of the balance they had achieved and the work still to be done. And outside, in the